there's an extraordinary convergence on lots of what I would call moral facts and what you would call moral illusions.
Good.
If a kid is here, let's just take a hackneyed example. If a kid's right here drowning in a pool and all I need to do is put my hand in and get my hand wet to lift him out, what I'd say is, regardless of my interests, I've got a reason to save this child because this child's life is intrinsically valuable. And that reason doesn't come from my projections. It doesn't come from attitudes I have. It doesn't come from my motivations. Even if I was the most misanthropic person around, I'd have a reason, maybe not one I'd acknowledge, maybe not one that would motivate me. But
moral reason? Is that what
it's a moral reason because it has to do with altruism. I mean, I don't want to define morality just in terms of altruism, but altruistic behavior is a subset of moral behavior.
And you're supposed to save beings. That's one of the rules of the world that you've discovered.
No, he doesn't have to agree to that. No.
Yeah, I think thanks.
Yeah, I thought you'd like to know that.
No, I think that's foisting a too crude view on someone like me because
well,
what you're saying
where does it come from then? I mean, I have a reason to save the kid too. I mean, the kid's drowning, his mother's screaming. I'm horrified. I don't want the kid to drown. I will dive in and save the kid without any thought, without any thought of my morality or my duty or my obligation or what the world requires.
And that's the
way
it ought to be. Because
and as far as I'm concerned, if
if
people have that kind of attitude about things, they don't need morality. If morality would just get in the way, would just give them excuses for not saving the kid. Well, I'm not totally required to risk my life beyond a certain point. Therefore, there's no need for me to save the kid. Therefore, morality has saved me from getting wet. You know?
No, that's unfair caricature. I think a lot of people, moralists don't insist that before you undertake morally appropriate action, you always ought to deliberate about what you ought to do. In fact, the morally finest people are people who, in that sort of situation, will see automatically what needs to be done.
So then morality is just for sitting around after and justifying what you've done?
It's not just for that, of course. But
what more?
Well, it can play. Well, let's say what morality is. Morality is at the bottom a set of facts about where your moral obligations lie. Is it important to have access to those facts for justificatory purposes? Yes. But I don't see why it's any less important for that. It's also important for moral education. Now you say, well, we can raise good kids and a fine citizenry without that. Maybe. I'm sure we'll get to talk about that.